Hey guys, how's it going? Give people a couple of minutes just to see, or I should say a couple of seconds. Today we're talking about why do we crave the bad stuff and not the good stuff? And also, why does the bad stuff taste so much better than the good stuff? I mean, most of it, right? And that was a question that one of you asked in the Facebook group. So give everyone a second. How's your day going so far? Honestly, I know I ask that all the time. If we haven't met before, my name's Leah and I'm the creator behind this group, Bye Cravings. Excellent. Welcome. Hey guys, welcome. And I apologize, I'm a couple minutes late, like 7 minutes, and I hate being late. How about you? Drives me nuts. I teach corporate yoga just before I do these sessions, and sometimes they go slightly over. And yeah, it's just adjusting right now. I used to teach them in person. So like the good news is I don't have to leave my house anymore to teach them. But the bad news is that I'm also don't have to leave my house to teach them, and being at home makes me go a little crazy. How about you? Are you at home more, or are you still working where you're at? All right, so before we dive into why we crave mostly bad things and not the good things, I have a couple exciting announcements going on in March. I'm currently working on putting together a free virtual online workshop towards the end of the month, and that's just how to stop eating, binge eating late at night, or having nighttime cravings without relying on willpower or self-control, or, giving up the foods that you love. And I know that this is a topic that I get asked a lot, and this is something that I've personally struggled on, and that's how my cravings journey started. So I was eating, especially the type of work I do, I work in the evenings now. I would get home at like 8 or 9 o'clock and I'd have this like really big dinner, and I just wouldn't really stop eating until I went to bed. And then even before, when I had a more steady 9 to 5 job, I used to come home and eat most of my calories in the evening, and I just couldn't put an end to it. So through studying and trial and error and understanding my bodies and why these cravings came, I've figured it out. So now, and I'm not superhuman and I'm not superpower, right? But now, honestly, I usually eat between 5 and 6 every single night, and then that's it. I don't eat again till the morning, and I don't wake up hungry or anything. And it didn't happen, it didn't happen overnight. It was something that I worked on. So anyways, I'm putting together this free virtual workshop for you guys. I know a lot of you are interested in it, so just stay tuned. I'm going to send an email out and we can chat about this more. I'm also launching my online version of my program, Ditch the Cravings, which I'm super excited about. And that just gives me a chance to work with people, not just locally here in Oakville, right? Just in the Toronto area, but also across the country. So this program helps women ditch their cravings for good, focusing on the root cause of the problem and making small changes rather than tackling what the symptom is, right? And this is something that you're interested in and you're curious, shoot me a DM or comment below. And honestly, I always tell people this because it's so weird to like reach out to people that you don't really know yet. I'm a zero pressure person. I actually only work with people that want to work with me. I mean, common sense, right? I can't help people that don't actually want to help or want to work with me. So if you're just curious on like more information and you just want to talk and like talk about your struggles, for sure, please message me and we can chat about it. Okay, got that. Let's get to our topic today. So why do we crave only the bad stuff and not so much the good stuff when we know we're supposed to eat the good stuff? So I'm actually curious to hear what you guys think. Why do you think that is? And comment below, and even if you're watching this in the replay, why do you think that is? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I thought for the longest time. Hey, someone just came and joined us. Okay, I'm going to tell you, and I'm kind of like embarrassed to share with you what I thought the reason why we crave bad things and not good things. Okay, so the things that my mindset was, and this is so funny, is that it was designed that way. Like Mother Nature created, or God, or the universe, whatever, fill in the blank, created bad foods to be delicious, like temptation, like the Garden of Eden, and that the healthy foods were the challenge, the struggle, right? So it's a struggle that you have to resist all these bad things to eat the good things, and you're rewarded, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of a little crazy now that I hear about it. But I had this idea that we were being challenged and that food was a struggle. And I had that mindset for a long period of time, and I don't think I was even conscious of that. I think it was something that was subconsciously planted in my head. So when I left my corporate job in 2012 and started to study nutrition, I also started working at a health food store and working with supplements and working with customers and meeting them. Oh, and Angie just commented, poor habits that comfort me at the time. Yes, for sure. I'm also guilty of that. So when I lost my train of thought there, that's okay. So I was working in the industry trying to kind of emerge myself with the culture, right? So all these things I've learned, and this is what I've kind of learned about these things. And what I'm going to share with you might surprise you. So a lot of the reasons why we crave these things, or we want to eat more unhealthier foods, is that it's designed that way. Okay? And do you know what I mean? So these companies, right? The reason why we can't have just one Dorito, or the reason why we can't have just one peanut M&M, like I shared, I love dark chocolate almonds and peanut M&Ms, is that companies hire food scientists to design these foods, right? So that we can't stop eating them. Okay? So people keep consuming them and they want to buy more. Does that make sense? Right? It is a business after all. Okay? So how they make these foods addictive, right? A lot of us are aware of like salt and sugar, right? Sugar is highly addictive, but also they manufacture these artificial flavors that hit our taste buds and tingle, right? And what's even like scarier is that these things that we consume actually like hit our brain in a certain way. So we want to crave more, right? It sounds like a little conspiracy theorist, but it's true. It's true. So I want to use the example. I used to love Doritos, and I'm actually married to somebody who loves eating Doritos. Okay, so pick something that you can't stop. If you can eat crackers, cookies, whatever. And I'll use the example of Doritos. I know that when I bite into a Dorito, my first initial bite, that split second, there's like a whole bunch of flavor, right? The whole bunch of flavor, and then the flavor comes down. So what happens is my brain's like, I want more of that hit, right? So it desires. So that's why I keep kind of going for another one and another one and another one. Okay, so the reason why I share this information with you is not to make anybody like fear food or paranoid or like pick up food and read all the ingredients like religiously, which is something that I used to do, and be paranoid. I truly believe that knowledge is power, right? Food should not be feared, but knowledge is power. So this is the things that we can control, right? The things that we can control is by us knowing that a lot of these foods are created to be highly addictive is like the first step. I know that for me, it helped me get over a lot of those desires to eat it. It also helped me to stop myself from over consuming, knowing that it wasn't my fault that I couldn't stop myself. I mean, a small degree, but it wasn't completely my fault. Like, this food was created to be highly addictive. And once I started to understand that, right, I started to be able to move forward. And I also know this. I want you to think back to the holidays. And I know that things look different this year, but I was raised Christian. I was raised Christian, and I was actually raised Catholic, and we celebrate Christmas. And for us, like, I'm generally pretty healthy, but I know at Christmas time there's like a lot of baked goods, right? There's a lot of Christmas parties, there's a lot of like stuff, and you're starting to consume a lot of those foods you generally avoid, right? And with baked goods, there's sugar and stuff. So the more that I ate something, the more that I craved it, right? And so I think what happens to a lot of us come January, right? We go through the Christmas season, and then all of a sudden it's not maybe socially acceptable, or we don't have those things around us anymore, like the cakes and the cookies, right? The Christmas stuff, those big meals, but our body's still craving it. We still want it, and then it makes it harder to go back. And then we think there's something wrong with us. So knowing that these are patterns, so the more that you consume something that's not maybe good for you, not healthy for you, the more you want it. But what I also know to be true is that it works both ways. Okay, so it works both ways. So when we start to introduce healthier foods, and these are general, like bad foods, healthy foods, I didn't even get into that, but when we start to introduce more healthy foods, that's when we start to crave them more, right? We start to desire, and it doesn't happen overnight, right? It doesn't have, same thing with the bad foods. It doesn't happen overnight, but over time, consuming more healthy foods kind of push everything away, right? There's less desire, there's less room for those not so healthy foods. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys here with 3 tips. Okay, so 3 tips on how I focused on consuming less of the bad stuff and more of the good stuff without like so much willpower and self-control, right? And then how I changed my body's chemistry to crave more of the good things. It doesn't mean I still don't crave bad things. That would be a lie. I'd be lying to you. Okay, so my number one thing, and I think you guys know this, and this is not a surprise here, is don't bring it in the house. Okay, so don't bring I call them your trigger food, right? So there's some things that I know they're not good for me, but I don't crave them. But there's some things like chocolate. So I try not to bring chocolate so much in my house, or I have a very controlled portion. And so I don't bring it in my house. I can't think about it. I'm not going to eat it. I don't know about you, but for me, if the food's in the house, I'll eat it, right? If I'm craving it, I'll eat it. But if I'm craving chocolate and it's not in the house, I'm not going to eat it. Okay? But then there's my husband who can be like, it's a snowstorm, and if he feels like his Doritos, he's going to make it happen. Okay? We live by a convenience store and a big grocery store, so it's not that hard, but he'll make it happen. It doesn't matter. Okay? So don't bring it in your house. And generally that's fairly easy. Of course, if you live with other people, which a lot of us do, that can be more challenging. So my next tip is to find healthy alternatives to some of the foods that you love, so you can consume those as well as what you desire. Okay? So looking for healthy alternatives that you find in the store, or alternatively, if you like baking or you're open to trying baking, creating the same thing even if it involves white sugar. Okay? So even if it involves white sugar, because you're controlling how much sugar it is, and most likely you're going to put less sugar than the item that you purchase in the store, if you think about it. You're also avoiding those preservatives and artificial flavors that you don't really need for your body, because your body doesn't know how to recognize them, right? So you're really just coming down to baking and eating a lot of the stuff that our grandparents used to eat. Okay, so lastly, this one's a big one. So I saved the best for last, and nobody ever talks about this. So one of the things I focus on with controlling my cravings and avoiding eating those unhealthy things is I avoid purchasing large quantities of it, okay? And I'm talking about Costco size bags. So peanut M&Ms are like a weakness of mine, and I know that Costco carries a big bag of yellow peanut M&Ms. And I know it's a really good price, and I know it's the best price. We all know that Costco has really good prices on a lot of things. And then the best part is it goes on sale. But you will never find that bag of peanut M&Ms in my house, because here's why. This is what I know to be true about myself, and probably true about a lot of people. I will consume unlimited quantity until mostly the bag's gone. Okay, so maybe not this big bag, but no matter what size the bag is, I'm going to consume it. Okay, so I play mind games with myself. So what I do instead is, if I feel like something, I will go to the convenience store, or I will go to the checkout, right, where you got that like small little yellow bag of peanut M&Ms. Yes, it does cost more, but I know I'm going to eat it, and then it's going to disappear, and it's gone. Okay, so that's the mindset shift. And it wasn't something that was easy for me, because I come from a family. My father appreciates a really good deal, right? He likes deals, he likes buying in bulk, he likes saving money, and that's been passed on to me. So that's really great when we're talking healthy food, but not so great when we're talking unhealthy food. So you choose. Do you want to save money, or do you want to save on your waistline? The choice is yours. Okay, so that's it for today. So I hope this is helpful in understanding a little bit more why we crave more of the bad stuff and not so much of the good stuff. Remember, it's a journey, and I look forward to seeing your comments. Okay, thanks for joining me live, and if you're watching it on the replay, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.